Good evening. Welcome to the April 11th, 2023 Indian Hill Board of Education meeting. I will now call the meeting to order. Mr. Davis, we have the roll call.
Mrs. Eichholz?
Here.
Mr. Marks?
Here.
Mrs. Singh?
Here.
Mr. Summerall?
Here.
Mr. Tullis?
Here.
Okay, let's go to the adoption of the regular meeting agenda and memorandum. We need to adopt the agenda and addendum. May I get a first?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mr. Summerall, we have some guests from Indian Hill Middle School. Students, if you could come on up and lead us in the pledge, we would appreciate it.
He's trying to jump right in.
Thank you very much. Public commentary. Mr. Davis, do we have any public commentary this evening?
We have none this evening.
Thank you. Mr. Konecki, can you lead us through the item 6, the recognition, correspondence, and announcements, please?
Welcome, everybody. We have some amazing celebrations and recognition tonight. Thanks for everybody who's joining us. First, I'd like to congratulate 59 of our Indian Hill High School students who compete in marketing at the DECA State competition on Friday, March 10th and Saturday, March 11th in Columbus. Our Braves competed against approximately 2,000 students from across Ohio. 39 of our students made it to the state finals in their respective events. Those are all career pathway events where they're specializing in some part of business or marketing. I want to congratulate all of those students for their amazing time and effort. This has become an annual event for our DECA students, and Susan Schonauer and Phil Saeed do such a great job with those students. Also want to congratulate our Indian Hill Middle School 8th grade student author Karma Phillips for advancing to the Power of the Pen state competition. This competition is hosted at Ashland University in May, and Karma placed 14th out of 78 writers during the Power of the Pen regional competition, which took place at Country Day earlier in March. We also want to celebrate Indian Hill Middle School student authors Uma Siraparapu and Ardisha Tharani. Both qualified to compete in regionals and were unable to attend the state event. Congratulations to those students. Next, we'd like to continue our celebrations with some more middle school and high school students who competed in the Science Olympiad regional competition that was held in early March. Our students earned 13 team awards, 5th place overall, and advanced to the state competition. 2 of our middle school students earned 4 awards during the competition, and that Science Olympiad is held on end of April at Ohio State University every year. So February and March are big academic competition months for our school district. Want to celebrate Indian Hill High School visual arts students who received 11 art awards at the Regional Governor's Youth Art Exhibition. Out of 1,062 submissions from our region, our students were 11 of the top 164 selected to advance to compete at the state level. IHHS had 3 submissions by 2 students, Vivian Jenkins and Maren Messerschmidt, chosen at the state level. Additionally, regional winners included Liz George, Vivian Jenkins, Ryan Kennebeck, Alyssa Kerr, Maren Messerschmidt, Macy Overton, Heidi Schellhaus, and Vivian Zhu. Want to celebrate our Indian Hill Cyber Club for earning 2nd place in the Tech Olympics Showcase competition out of more than 50 schools represented. This is a debut appearance for our student-led competition by 15 students who participate in our Cyber Club. We're really proud of the student innovation that's developed with the Cyber Club. These are students who are really interested and passionate about computer science. Also want to celebrate 5 of our high school student athletes who took center stage in the gym for our celebration on Wednesday, March 22nd, to commit to continue both their academic and athletic careers beyond high school at college. Participating that day were Kara Erickson, Alex Hansen, Alexander Sheldon, Jonah Waltz, and Sky Williams. Always, this is a moment to cherish with parents, their coaches, their peers, and all the families who helped these Braves for this opportunity to move on to the next level. Outstanding athletes, adding to a huge number of student athletes moving on to college this year from Indian Hill. Next up, we're going to celebrate some of our middle school students again. Henry Sims, Abigail Ashton, Addison Kallmeyer, and Annika Riddle for their positive contributions to helping all of our students at Indian Hill Middle School. We're going to have a conversation and a presentation this evening with those students and their teacher who are here. Sandy Gemmel is here to join us, along with our administrators from the middle school as we highlight the middle school this evening. So Ms. Gentine and Mr. Renner, if you and your team would like to come on up when you're ready.
Could I just add one special thanks real quick before we start this?
Sure you can.
And that's to Shelley Weiland and Wendy Sylvius for the Foundation Experience Program that launched, I guess, last board meeting. I had a chance to go to that after our meeting and saw the energy that was built through that event, and the work that Shelley in particular and Wendy have done is remarkable, and it's the start of that program, and it's going to be really cool to see how that develops over the coming years. I know they're not here tonight, but for everybody who's paying attention, look into that program. It's really innovative educational opportunities for our high school students, and just wanted to again reiterate our thanks to them for all the work they've done on that program, and everybody on the stage, candidly.
Yeah, and I want to thank everybody included. I know Nancy was involved directly as one of the partner groups, and there is a commercial that was produced about experiences that will be shared out after this evening that people can interact with to learn more about it. And we'll also be following up with another new event this week on Thursday evening at the high school, which will be the finals for the Big Pitch, which is an entrepreneurship competition that our students and staff have put together that is going to be quite unique and special for anybody who has a chance to come see that program. It begins at 6 o'clock right here in the auditorium Thursday evening. Okay, with that, I would like to welcome to the stage Ms. Laura Gentine and turn it over to Lauren.
Thank you, Mr. Kinnicky. Are you going to be able to present our
Just
slides?
you direct me when you're
Perfect.
ready.
We'll be ready. Perfect. Thank you so much for letting us come tonight to share a little bit about what we've been working on. Obviously, I joined our middle school team at a unique time in its history where we are building a beautiful state-of-the-art facility next door. But one of the things that was really important to us, and I heard it loud and clear in the interview process, and then I heard it anecdotally right away from staff and families, was that we didn't want the construction to be a defining experience for our Braves today. That we have students showing up every day whose experience at the middle school doesn't need to be defined by a construction project. And so I felt like my opportunity was to come in and help us think long-term when we consider the impact of COVID on Indian Hill, schooling, and then the construction project. By the time we open that building, we will have not functioned like a typical one-school building in almost 4 years. And so that's a significant amount of time. So my job was to look ahead at how do we prepare to be one school, and yet how do we make sure that our kids are having an incredible experience day to day while that's going on. So Mr. Kinnicky, if you could click. What we decided to focus on this year is that building into people and building relationships is far more important and far greater than building a building. Though we're incredibly honored and excited to get into that building sooner rather than later, it is so important for us to really figure out who are we and recognize that if we hang our hopes on that facility is not anything special without its people in it. And so we've really focused this year on building into each other, connecting, and so if you'll go to the next slide, I'll talk a little bit about my process in doing that, and then we'll turn it over to the team to talk about what's coming ahead and what we've been working on. So I spent a lot of first quarter, Mr. Renner and I especially, really listening and learning what are the needs and opportunities in our building as a middle school, and really trying to say yes. What we knew is that there are incredible opportunities and an incredible staff, state-of-the-art people, and we just needed to say yes. In fact, I often use the metaphor with our staff that I picture myself as this archaeologist who is, there are these great bones and the construction dust can sometimes cover cover them up. So my job is to just continually be wiping away that construction dust and bringing back who are we? What are we really driven by? What are our purpose and our values? As we went through a process to do that, we started to really coalesce around two themes. We wanted all adults and adolescents to know that they belong at Indian Hill Middle School, and we want all adults and adolescents to have the opportunity to exercise agency in their learning and in their development. And so we've started, once we sort of unearthed those value statements, which fit right in well with our strategic plan as a district, we decided to start in this really intentional and incremental way. What can we do now? What can we do today that's preparing us for this future? And we've talked about in fourth quarter, as we go in, we want to affirm the things that we're doing right now, and we want to get aspirational really soon. So it's affirmational now and aspirational just around the corner, continually looking to progress as we build this building, knowing that the building itself isn't what makes us special. It's the people, the spirit, our approach once we're in it. So this is kind of where we've gotten to today. I'll turn it over to Mr. Renner to talk about some of the ideas that have come up for next year.
As we keep with the themes of belonging and agency, for student agency, there will be a big focus on the Village Green. It'll be a great opportunity for students to create, to explore, to showcase, all through the lens of STEM. We want to continue and expand our student service projects. We love the PTO, and we're incredibly grateful for the relationship we have with them and everything they do for the middle school. We want to use that partnership to open up new student service opportunities at the middle school level. We're looking at advisory, building in an advisory consistent on a daily basis as a great way to connect with everybody through the building, not just students with students, but also students and teachers, all staff. A great way to do that through a consistent advisory. We're also looking at how can we expand course offerings for our students at the middle school, especially when we're in a place that's stable, it's ours, we own it. How can we increase course offerings, our electives? How can we create a more flexible schedule that's student-centered and gives students more choice? All right, look at the next slide, please. As we open the new building, we want it to be a soft opening. We want to have field trips, small groups visiting that space so they can start to see, imagine, see themselves in that space, teaching, learning. We even like to hold classes for a short period of time so teachers and students can feel what it's like to be in that new environment and once again start to envision themselves there on a daily basis. And we'd love to have a new school camp for everyone, including staff, teachers. We're all getting acclimated with the expectations of how we're going to take on this amazing new building. All right, next slide, please. All right, at this time, we will spotlight some of our students and hear from their experience, coffee and conversations. You've seen these students before.
Telling us a little bit about what Coffee and Conversations is.
Okay. Coffee and Conversations is where students with disabilities and students without disabilities come together and go to a coffee shop and like play games and interact with others and forming like new relationships. Should I say what? Okay. And we're all gonna share how this has impacted us, and this has impacted me by like obviously connecting with others, learning new environments and other people's, like what other people have a hard time with, and helping them with that.
This has impacted me just by like seeing what a good program it is, because my sister has autism and I know there's not a lot of programs out there for people like that. And it's also just like a really nice break in the day to like relax and just chill and hang out.
This has impacted me by like I get to make connections with the students, and by getting to see how they're all like individually different and how they all like work with others.
It's impacted me by not just being able to make friendships at school, but also outside of school. For example, this program. And it's really nice to be part of a school that does stuff like this, where you can connect with other students and learn about their backgrounds.
One of the things that I think is so important about highlighting Coffee and Conversations is it's not me or Mr. Renner bringing ideas to our school. Like I said, we really see ourselves as these archaeologists, just swiping away at this construction dust and focusing on these really good bones, people who we can say yes to, who are helping us to make a school where everybody feels like they belong and everybody knows that they can bring ideas to us, and we'll do everything we can to support them. There are a lot of logistics that make saying no easy, and we've decided not to do the easy thing. We want to continue to say yes because it's what our kids deserve. So we appreciate the opportunity to come and highlight what we've been working on. We know it's a unique time in the school year and in Indian Hill Middle School history, and so it's an honor to really get to share what we've been doing. Thank you.
Can you all just hold on up here for 1 minute? Mr. Renner, can you grab these for me, please? And Ms. Gemmel, would you come up to the podium for a moment, please?
Sure.
So last year, you may remember, and if I get this wrong in any way, Dr. Stewart, please help me. Last year, Ms. Gemmel was our district honoree and a state honoree for the Martha Holden Jennings Award for her skills as an educator. And that program brings with it a cash reward. And Dr. Stewart, can you explain what Ms. Gemmel did with that cash reward?
I think that what Sandy does that's amazing is that she thinks about what's good for the entire school population and not just a subgroup of people. And I think what the student said was so amazing is that this program, which was funded by the grant that Mrs. Gemmel received, is beneficial for both groups of students who attend, and they have this opportunity to interact with each other and to truly form like relationships that will last many years to come. So this is an opportunity for those students to get together and to have a place where they can go and they can all be in even ground and play games together and drink some tea and some coffee and then return to school, and that sets a basis for a relationship that I think will last for many years to come. Mrs. Gemmel, anything you want to add?
No, these are just rock star kids, and we've had a lot of fun, and it's just a great opportunity to, again, like they're saying, build authentic connections, and I think that's so important. It's a true friendship as opposed to like someone helping another, and I think they all highlighted just seeing the strength in each other, so it's super special.
Board members, again, Ms. Gemmel's being really humble here. Yeah. She helped to fund this program that we, I think, should continue to fund to make sure that our students have these experiences moving forward as a part of her award. And she's very humble, and we're very proud of her and her students.
Can I just add something to it? So you may not know, but I have observed you working. So when I was in the middle school working with PTO, oftentimes I have seen you working with these kids. So I know how special you are with these kids and how much you really make a difference in these kids' life. So thank you for everything you do. And for the kids, you guys are amazing, and you are the future. And you are going to make the difference in this district. And because of you all, this district is where it is. So great work. Keep working hard. Keep building those relationships, because it'll go long lasting. You'll always remember these.
I'll just add on to that. I appreciate your humbleness and your leadership and guidance. So thank you very, very much. The students, we appreciate your input and thoughts and giving us a firsthand experience of something you're going through right now, so that is amazing. Thank you very much for everything you guys are doing. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Braves. Mr. Renner and Ms. Gentine, could you stay up here for a minute? You all can go get comfortable again. Thank you. While we have Mr. Renner and Ms. Gentine here, I'd just like to point out, Mr. Renner, this is the third principal you've worked with in 3 years? It is. Yeah. Mr. Renner, as an assistant principal, while our buildings have been disjointed and our grade levels have been all over the district, this is now the third principal and the last that he's worked with in the district. And I just want to thank him as an assistant principal for his leadership in the different buildings around the district. Lauren and Drew do not get to be with each other, much like some of our faculty faculty don't throughout the week. Everybody is disrupted, and they help to try to keep that as smooth as possible. So thank you for all your work on the logistics, Mr. Renner, and everything you do. And Ms. Gentine, is Ms. Gentine smiling behind me? Okay, she's usually smiling. What I would like to say about Ms. Gentine, and I think this presentation is appropriate, then it reinforces to me in my mind, the climate of our middle school has changed in a palpable way because of that smile and because of the energy that Ms. Gentine brings every day with her team. And when she says she's open and says yes, we see evidence of that all the time. And I truly appreciate her understanding of what this transition should look like. It's one of the reasons she was hired, and she has a plan. And I haven't given much input to that plan. I don't think any of the cabinet level administrators have had to, because Lauren's on top of it. And that's what it's all about. And so, Lauren, welcome to the Braves again, and we really appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Kinnick, I'd like to add on to that, and that Mr. Renner, appreciate you being so flexible. I know that you're missed at the high school. My son Ethan had a chance, I think your first year, to have you there, and being flexible and being willing to move places where you're needed has been a huge help, so we appreciate that. And Ms. Gentine, I know that Ms. Singh and I had the opportunity to listen to you during our instruction in technology, where you kind of previewed this with us.
Yeah.
And I just say, I think about a middle school experience, and those are such interesting years, right, for a student, as you guys know. And so to think through, hey, we're doing amazing instructionally as it relates to the academics and the academic performance, but we have opportunities where we can grow that you shared. But then also really thinking through those pieces around this idea of agency and this idea of belonging. And I think that will be the piece that our kiddos are going to remember when they're 22 and when they're 32 and when they're 82, is having that sense of belonging and having that sense of purpose and agency. So thank you, both of you. Thank you to your staff. I think it's really, really important, and appreciate that that's the lens that you see things through.
Yeah, thank you.
And I love the message of building the relationships is more important than building the buildings. But Mike, Kyle, Holly, Chris, if we hear that from you guys, we might have a different discussion, but thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Before we move on, I'd like to say one other thank you. We have a special guest in our audience tonight, and that's our Director of Pupil Services, Erica Leopard. Erica, wave. There you go. Sandy knows this. The students know this. People outside tonight know this. There are so many inclusive events happening in our school district, and that is because Erica has put an emphasis on those relationships and worked with our leaders and our staff, and they have a collaborative environment where they come up with some amazing ideas for all students to feel that sense of agency and belonging. So thank you, Erica, for all you do. With that, I'll move on to the superintendent's report. So tonight, board members, we have a second reading for academic fees under 7A. You all have had a chance to review those for a month, and no big changes there. Letter B, some approval of an overnight field trip for our DECA students for nationals. And then letter C is a host of our annual personnel actions, tuition reimbursements, and professional meetings. Those run from C 1 through 10 and also onto the addendum through number 11. And those include the approval of some administrative contract terms, a couple of certified staff contracts, some change of contracts for new positions, including our student engagement and campus life coordinator and our play studio teacher for next year. Those are those teachers on special assignment, as well as a couple of retirements and resignations under number 8, and some supplemental personal service contract approvals, as well as one tuition reimbursement. And if you see on the addendum also, we have some retirement resignations approval for summer help and an esports field trip. If there are no questions, I have a couple comments after this, but if there are no questions, I would like to ask the board to entertain approval of 7A through C, 11A. That's inclusive of addendum items 7B and C.
May I have a motion to accept the superintendent's report?
I'll make a motion to approve items A through C11, is that correct?
Yes.
Inclusive of the addendum.
Did we have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Marks?
Yes.
Mrs. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Tullis?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichholz?
Aye.
Mr. Summerall?
Yes.
Thank you all. And I'd like to go back to the approval of administrative contracts for a moment. You know, I think it's really important when we work in a public school district to acknowledge leadership and stability in leadership positions. And tonight we've approved renewal terms for both our Chief Academic Officer, Melissa Stewart, and our Chief Human Resource and Operations Officer, Jim Nichols. I was quizzing them before the board meeting, and neither one of them could actually remember how long they had been in the district until I quizzed them. And I believe, Jim, it's 12 years now?
Correct.
And I've asked Dr. Stewart 3 times because it's been so long. Is it 17? Yeah. 16. So I think
Dr. Stewart started when she was 2, just for
yeah. I think this is really important for not only public school and leadership development, but for the future of public schools. Both of these leaders started off in other districts. They came to Indian Hill and they made their mark as principals, and their longevity as principal leaders was recognized by all staff and the Board of Education to provide them with the opportunities that they're in now. And they have done commendable jobs in the time that I've had the privilege of working with them. And I just think it's so rare in public schools anymore, no matter what size they are, to have leaders with such staying power and longevity and stability. It's what makes excellent school cultures excellent. And I can't even begin to explain the amount of work that these 2 people in particular do for everybody in this district. We talked also last year about Ms. Higdon, again, a Chief Communications Officer that simply there is no better in the nation, up there in the dark somewhere, and who helps us to communicate in any way, shape, and form you can imagine at the highest level. And Dr. Owens, who can't be here with us tonight, unfortunately, but has been with the district both as an assistant principal and now as a head principal and renewed, and has taken the primary school through a change process that has led to some amazing work and some upcoming amazing, I think, accolades. And she has just done a great job. So really want to thank all of these people and not just recognize their term of renewal, but the hard work that they do all the time.
Melissa, thank you. Jim, thank you. We sincerely appreciate all of your hard work and effort that you guys both put in to make this a great environment for everyone in the village. Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to move on to the treasurer's report. Mr. Davis.
For my report tonight, I'll start with the approval of minutes from the March 14th, 2023 regular meeting. Approve the financial reports for the month ending March 31st, 2023. Item C is a resolution raising the capitalization threshold of a fixed asset from $2,500 to $5,000. The Government Finance Officers Association made a recommendation in 2007 that public government entities should have that a threshold of $5,000. I decided with things the way they're going with inflation and all those things that 2023 is the perfect year for us to make that move. So that's why I'm recommending that move. Item D is to approve now and then invoices. We don't have many of these anymore, fortunately, and this one couldn't be avoided. This was for Rockhorn Academy. It's reimbursement of Hamilton County ESC with IDEA funds in the amount of $17,480.20. Item E is to increase and decrease some of our budgets for some of our funds. There are 5 changes to appropriations there. Item F is to approve the following construction contracts. There are 6 of these items, and I know we typically don't do a lot of celebration when we have to talk about change orders and the cost of our construction project going up, but I would like to mention a few celebrations tonight as far as these go. Item 1 is roofing material escalation, and I know escalation sounds like a dirty word, but in this case, our Skanska team did a wonderful job along with MSA and MCS of comprising our GMP when we first did it, and going out and looking at the inflation numbers they were predicting and saying, we think we could do better, we're going to write in a clause and we're going to wait until it's actually time to buy that product. And that's how we got to $27,000, when in actuality it probably would have been a much higher 6-digit figure had we written those into the original GMP. So it's really exciting when we see that everybody's working together to save money, help us put together the best project we can. Item 2 is approval of structural steel, $141,987.59. Again, a large number, but this number actually decreased from what we thought it was going to be in March, so that's another celebration. Item 10 is not so much of a celebration, but it's a need that we found as we were doing the design process. We wanted to put some receptacles in our science room, so we made sure we had plenty of electricity for all of the computers and technology that we use in those centers. Item 4 is the community room layout finishes, $25,822.80. And number 5 is AS Signage Innovations. This is for room signage. Again, this is something that we're doing as the district, going out and doing direct contracts, trying to find the best possible prices we can for these, and our own staff doing a wonderful job finding some great value within these particular orders. Same thing with the Cincy Entertainment Services, installation of a sound system in the cafeteria. Mr. Eric Smeeney, who's up top, who's one of those humble people in the district, was instrumental in getting this price and the value that we're going to get for this product. So again, we usually don't celebrate those construction contracts, but I just wanted to let everybody know we are all working as a team, and we're all trying to get the most value we can out of our dollars to make the best project we can. Item G is to approve the following contract. There's one on there for this evening. It's for the Hamilton County ESC. This is a collection of annual services that we purchased from them. The total amount of the services is $235,785.60. We do receive a credit from the ESC in the amount of $13,136.50. And then finally on my report, item H, the acceptance of donations. The PTO donated to both our primary school and our elementary school, both their art and music departments, in the amount of $1,419.54. The boosters donated $1,600 for our mock trial state tournament team, and the boosters also donated $2,500 for our robotics team to go to state. Again, we always appreciate our partners that are willing to help raise money and help donate that back to the district so we can get all the extra things for our students that they deserve. And with that, that's the conclusion of my report. If there are any questions.
No, but I have one comment.
Yeah.
Which is that I look at like the music department, art department mock trial, and it's pretty cool because the work that we're doing now, what kind of impact that has. So I'll be going to Memphis to watch the national championship for mock trial at the collegiate level, and we'll have 4 Indian Hill students there. We will have Michael at Ohio State, Albert and my son Ethan from UVA, and Casey from Yale, who are all on their A teams.
That's amazing.
And so when you think about this is the national championship, you've got 4 different kiddos at 3 different universities that'll be there. And I know there's other things out there, but it's cool to see our kids, whether it's arts, athletics, different things that are the foundational work that they get here. And so thank you to the PTO and the boosters for supporting those, because it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, just to echo a little bit of that, when it comes to robotics, some people who maybe have not been around the district as long may not be aware, we did not have robotics teams in the past, and over the last 4 years, or 5 years now, the way that this team has come together as a club and competed would not be possible without the grants and the assistance of our partners, and they're also winning accolades all over the state of Ohio and qualifying for national tournaments. The same goes for esports, which just started last year with foundation help and was a state runner-up in their first year. Our students are doing some amazing things with the support of our partners.
So I'll make a motion, if there's no discussion, to approve the treasurer's report items A through H6.
Second.
Mr. Marks?
Yes.
Mr. Tullis?
Yes.
Mrs. Eichholz?
Aye.
Mrs. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Summerall?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next up, board members, we have the first reading of our new spring Neola policy updates. I've attached all of those there for you under 9A through T. If you could take a look at those, and if you have any questions, please let me know, and we will review those again next month.
I just have one question. Are all of these updates and changes versus are any of these actual new policies?
all updated language and just modification to current policy language. There is one addition that I would point out, and that is under student and staff acceptable use and safety policies. There's new language because of artificial intelligence, which is new, but a part of a policy that we're now modifying. M and N.
Okay, item 10, other business by the board, administration.
Board members, we're very fortunate this evening to have reached an agreement with the Indian Hill Foundation and a donor and his family, Mr. John Harder, who can't be here this evening, but we have been in contact with, and at this time would like to ask that the board consider the approval of that agreement contract between our school district, the foundation, and Mr. Harder.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a comment, I guess, really. This will be a transformational gift for the school. Mr. Harder and his family are making a significant gift, the largest of its kind that I'm ever aware of. And certainly all the thanks to his family, to him, to the foundation, our partner who's been involved from the beginning of this. But we take for granted sometimes how fortunate we are to live in this community. And this is one of those times I think it's worth to hit the pause button and really take a step back and reflect just the generosity that Mr. Harder has expressed to the school. I've got to know him a little bit. I look forward to getting to know him better. He is as humble of a person as you would ever find, and doesn't want the recognition that he deserves for this gift, and it's important that it honors his family. When I met him, I asked him, what is it can we do to truly honor his wife with this generous gift? And he kind of flipped it around to me. He goes, well, what do you think? And my comment was, we will do everything we can to maximize the value of his gift, maximize his family's integrity, his intent, and his support of this school, and make sure that the resources he's giving to this school will be used in the best manner possible, whatever that may be. We don't know what it is. Tomorrow is a different day. But just to reiterate that thanks to him, we look forward to publicly celebrating him. Again, thank you to his family. Thank you to our partners at the foundation, who I don't think could be here tonight. But really impactful gift, and really exciting to see what this will lead to. And just a reminder of how fortunate we are to be in this community and in this school district.
So just one other comment additional, there will be some information shared out this evening, board members, after your vote. And we again want to reiterate our thanks to all of our foundation members and the president, Lisa Consolino, as well as the employees of the foundation, including Lori Kleindens, for all of their hard work and partnership with us to make sure that we can again continue with our community to do amazing things. We're very humbled and honored to accept this type of gift to the district.
I also should have added thanks to Mr. Konecki for his work in building the relationship with Mr. Harder. This gift would not have happened without his relationship and the trust Mr. Harder placed in Kirk's leadership for the school, getting to know the team around him. This was a monumental effort by everybody, but certainly led by Kirk and his team. And this gift would not have happened without your leadership. So thank you for that.
So from the evening, maybe we could do the vote, and then we'll share one last detail.
I'm voting yes.
Mrs. Eichholz?
Aye.
Mr. Tullis?
Yes.
Mr. Marks?
A resounding yes.
Mrs. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Summerall?
Yes.
Thank you all, and we're very proud to announce the Sue Harder Memorial Performing Arts Center as of this evening, and moving forward, when people visit this building in the future, forever they will understand the story of Sue Harder and her family and the amazing gift to our community. Thank you very much.
Okay, item 11, adjournment. At this time, I would like to adjourn the meeting. Do we have any other business? May I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Exclusive coverage on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.